Clearing clutter out of a home that you've inherited can feel like an emotional roller coaster. You walk in, and the entire house is filled with memories and furniture and personal belongings. And sometimes it's hard to know where to even start. How do you make a decision on what to keep, sell, donate, or toss? If you're feeling stuck, you're not alone. Many people in your situation struggle with this exact challenge. But today I'm going to share with you a simple method that can make the process much more manageable. The four-box method is something we've probably all heard of, but I'm going to add a little bit to it that will help you make clear, confident decisions, especially when it comes to things that hold sentimental value. So let's dive in. Here's how it works. You're going to grab 4 boxes, and each box is going to be labeled keep, donate, sell, and trash. It sounds simple, right? But the magic is in how you make the decisions on what to keep, what to donate, what to sell, and what to toss out. So let's break that part down. One of the hardest parts about clearing out clutter is deciding what to keep, especially when emotions are involved. And the key here is intentionality, knowing that not everything has to stay. And I found that it helps me when I ask myself 3 different questions pertaining to certain items. And the first question is, does this item bring me joy or comfort? The next question is, does the item hold a truly significant memory? And the third question is it practical or useful in my life today? If you can look at each item and ask those 3 questions, and you can answer yes to 1, 2, or 3 of those questions, then it may be something that you want to put into the keep box. And if it's going to take up a lot of space that you don't really have, there are other alternatives to keeping the item. For example, you can take a photograph of it and hold on to the memory rather than the item itself. Or I've seen where people repurpose an item. For example, taking a piece of fabric from a quilt and sticking it in a frame, or taking an entire closet full of dad's work shirts and turning them into a pillowcase. I've seen some really cute and creative ways that you can repurpose items that are of sentimental value. One thing that I did is that my grandparents had boxes and boxes of not only video, old film, of family vacations and holidays and different life events that they had filmed over the years, but they also had tons of slides. And I wanted to hold on to all of those memories because some of them are of my mom when she was a little girl dancing and twirling. And how do you throw something like that away? You can't. But what you can do is digitize those memories. So now they're on a small little thumb drive rather than stacks and stacks of boxes. But I will tell you, there's still a struggle. Even after digitizing those memories, there is a bit of an emotional pull getting rid of the physical copy because they were still things that my grandparents created and touched and held. And so parting with that physical copy is still going to be an emotional toll. But having that digital copy is much easier to store rather than cases and cases of photographs and film and slides. And for me, I was storing all of that in the garage, where sometimes the garage can get to be 120 degrees during our hot summer heats. And I was super worried about having all of that film be destroyed because of our high temperature summers in the Sacramento area. And if you have other creative ways on how to repurpose something that's meaningful, I would love for you to leave it in the comments so that our entire community can learn from each other. Next up is the donate box. And this is giving items a second life. These are items that are in good condition that someone else can use and appreciate. And if you're unsure about this, ask yourself, would I give this to a friend? Is this still functional and in good shape? Would someone else find value in this today? You can consider donating to local charities, to thrift stores, to faith-based organizations. And don't forget, there are many charities that will come and pick up large items like furniture items as long as you schedule it in advance. And I did an entire video on it that I will link in the comments below or at the end of this video, so you can reach out to those organizations that may be able to come and pick up large items from the home directly. Now, the next box is a sell box, and this is where you get to turn some of that clutter into cash. If you come across items that are valuable, but you don't necessarily want to keep them, you would put these items in the sell box. And items that would go in the sell box would be things like jewelry, antiques and collectibles, vintage furniture, home decor, any kitchen gadgets, electronics, tools, or high quality appliances. And to have a successful sale, you're going to want to do a little bit of research online to find the value of the items that you're trying to sell. And similar to selling a home, you want to take clear, well-lit photographs to attract buyers. And you want to be honest about the condition of the item that you're trying to sell, so there's not a lot of haggling and back and forth, or you don't waste time with somebody returning it because it wasn't in the condition that they originally thought it was going to be in. And to sell these items, you can go to Facebook Marketplace, you could go to eBay, you could go to the app OfferUp, or there's even some local consignment shops where you can sell your items easily and they take a small commission. Or you can hold an estate sale over the course of a couple of weekends in the home itself. And now the fourth box is a trash box, and this is letting go of items for good. There are some things that just can't be sold or donated, either because they're broken or they're soiled or because they're hazardous. And in those cases, it's just time to let it go. Now, this could be expired food, it could be old medications or cosmetics, it could be worn out or stained bedding or pillows or towels, it could be broken appliances or outdated electronics. Whatever the item is, you're going to want to dispose of it responsibly. So check with our local waste management and recycling center for hazardous materials like old paint or televisions or batteries. Now, I'm going to add a fifth box to our 4-box method, and this is something that I like to call a legacy box. This is for items that might be really important to you, and so you can't quite make a decision on whether you want to keep or donate or sell these items. Maybe you want to come back to it when you're feeling a little more prepared, but for now, you can just set it aside and put it in the legacy box and come back to it a couple of months or a year later. And what that helps you do is that if you can't make a decision on that item right now, you just set it aside, and that way you keep moving forward with the other things. So if you're struggling with these sentimental items, the legacy box helps you keep moving things forward. So you're not keeping anything out of guilt or feeling like you're making a rushed decision. You're giving yourself permission to process these things later when you're ready. And another tip, if you're on the fence about whether to keep, donate, or toss or sell something, is what I call the 1-year rule. And here's where you can ask yourself, have I used this or has it been used in the last year? And will I realistically use this in the next year? And if the answer is no, it's probably time to let it go. And this applies to everything from clothing to kitchenware to tools and even sentimental items that you think you should keep, but you actually really don't use. And I have kind of a kooky tip that I learned from someone that actually has helped me to let go of items that are no longer serving me. And it's actually just to say goodbye to the item. And this is going to sound so silly and kooky and whatever. I don't care. I hope that this is helpful to you. I had a handbag that was a gift. It was very special. It came from my mom. I loved it. I used it for years, but I had just kind of outgrown it. But it was hard for me to let it go again because it was a gift from my mom and I just really liked it. But I looked at the handbag and I thanked it for its service to me and said that I really appreciated the years that we had together, but I was letting it go so that it can serve somebody else. And maybe that's something that you want to consider doing, is taking a look at the item and letting it know that you appreciate its value and its service that it gave to you, but it is time for it to move on and to help somebody else. And if you've tried this trick before and it's worked for you, let me know in the comments below so that I don't feel like I'm alone and silly and kooky in doing things like this. And when you're going through the process of decluttering a home that you've inherited, I want you to keep in mind that it's not just about getting rid of things, it's about creating a space for what truly matters. Just take it one step at a time, even if it is only 1 box a day. Give yourself grace because this is an emotional process, and celebrate your small wins because each decision you make with each item brings clarity and peace. I hope you found this video helpful, and as promised, there is a link to the video where there are organizations that will come and pick up items that you would like to donate. And let me know in the comments below, what is the hardest thing that you have ever had to part with? Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.